Hi, today's edition of Enta Wonders, we're going to talk about feedback. So Thanks for the Feedback by Douglas Stone and Sheila Heen is the book of the day. I picked this because we're all in these virtual environments and communication is very different than it was before. So things like feedback are important now than ever. So why is feedback important? In the workplace, it's something to be sought, not something to be endured. It leads to higher job satisfaction, greater creativity on the job, faster adaptation to new role, and lower turnover. So traditionally, and this is what I really like about this book, is organizations teach managers or leaders how to give feedback, right? Sometimes it's the shit sandwich, sometimes it's other skills, but the reality is no matter how good you are at giving somebody the feedback, if they're not ready to hear it or ready to do something with it, then it's pointless. You know, it says here in the book that pushing harder rarely opens the doors to learning. So interesting way to flip that on its head. So as the person who's receiving the feedback, something to think about is these triggers, things that can set you off. The first is truth. So if somebody gives you a piece of feedback and there's something about it's not true, well, that's a trigger for you. Hey, that's a lie, that's not true, right? So just understanding how you might react to that. The second, relationship. So, you know, this is really understanding your relationship to the person. So if I give you a piece of feedback and I barely know you, and I'm giving you feedback on your marriage, you're gonna react like, how could you have the audacity you don't know me? So that relationship piece is really important, that trust. And then lastly, and this is the trickiest one, is the identity. If I think I'm a great public speaker and someone gives me feedback that, hey, you know, you don't talk very loud, you say a lot, and this really is traumatizing. It hits my blank spot and my whole identity is staggered. So that's probably the trickiest one of them all. So the last thing, once you understand things that can trigger you, as the giver of the feedback, I think it's important, and I really like the way they talked about it here, as you talk about 3 types of feedback. Appreciation, hey, great job. Coaching, hey, let's talk about how we can grow and do better. And then evaluation, which is the critique part, right? Like here's what you need to do better, blah, 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 blah. And if the person getting the feedback comes in expecting appreciation, but they get evaluation, that's where things can be triggered and where it can get tricky. So just understanding the expectations of both sides, what types of feedback you're getting and when and how. And ultimately, I think it sums it up really nicely when it says, we judge ourselves by our intent, others judge us by impacts. And that's sometimes how misunderstandings can occur. So hope you found that useful. Read the book, it's great, thanks.